morning, my dear grade 9 students. So today, I am going to share with you the capslet for this week, grade 9 English, quarter 1, week 3.1 and 3.2. So, for our topic this week, our topic is determine the tone and mood of the author. So, for the learning competency, determine tone, mood, technique, and purpose of the author. Objective is to identify the tone, mood, technique, and purpose of the author from the given passages. So, visualization. Try to understand this one. Picture this in your mind. It was dark and stormy night. I sat alone in the old, dilapidated house, staring out the window. The sky was black, the wind was loud, and the rain slammed against the broken window pane. I shut my eyes, remembering my earliest visit, and I felt so embarrassed and angry. When I opened them, the lightning bolt flashed and lit up the room once more. I had to get out of the house. I had to hide. No one could know my horrible mistake. I opened the door, took a deep breath, and ran into the cold and rain. Question number 1. What feelings did you have while reading the story? Question number 2. What words did you read to help you create this feeling? Literary elements help you create a better understanding and appreciation of the selection read. Tone and mood help in creating the meaning of a selection. The tone is the author's attitude towards the subject. You can recognize the tone by the word choices the author uses to create meaning. The tone can be positive or negative. Examples of tone are humorous, serious, proud, nostalgic, afraid, confused, and bitter. On the other hand, the mood is the feeling you get while reading a story. It could be happiness, sadness, darkness, romance, or even excitement. Read the next passage to learn more about the tone and mood. The sunlight streamed through the window. Golden beams were tickling her awake. Stirring, she remembered the excitement from last night. Butterflies fluttered in her stomach. She sniffed. The aroma of fresh brewed coffee hit her nostrils. In this passage, ask yourself, what is the tone of the scene? What about the mood? What words in the passage convey the tone and mood? Here, the tone is positive. That is, being hopeful about what this day could offer. As for the mood, the reader will feel happy and optimistic. The words aroma of fresh brewed coffee, butterflies, and golden beams help create the mood in the passage. So there you have it. So for SAQ 1, so if you are going to answer this one, don't forget to write English 9 Week 3.1. So for SAQ 1, what feeling did you have while reading the story? Okay. So you have to explain briefly what feeling you have while you are reading the story. SAQ 2, what words did you read to help you create this feeling? Okay, so answer that one. So for let's practice, again, you are going to read some passages. So let's have some reading comprehension on this learning competency. Write the letter of the correct answer. So in this test, you are just going to write the letter of the correct answer. So this is one of up to 8. So there is a passage here, or I mean passages here that you have to only to only choose the correct answers. For example, what mood is implied in the passage? Letter A, cheerful. B, humorous. C, sad. D, romantic. So if your answer is A, cheerful, just write letter A. So answer right away. So for the key points, let's have this one try first. So let's see how much you have learned today. So answer on your yellow pad. Directions. Read the passages and answer the questions that follow. Write only the letter of the correct answer. So same with this, 1 up to 10, you are going to write the letter of the correct answer. You have to read first the passages and then try to understand them. And then after that, you have to answer the comprehension questions that follow. Okay, so for the key points, let us remember, here is a reminder to determine the tone and mood of the author. Tone, when we say tone or when we talk about tone is the author's attitude or attitude, okay? But when we say mood, it is the feeling you get while you read the story. So that's the difference between the tone and the mood. Again, tone is the author's attitude, while the mood is the feeling we the readers get while reading the story. So that's it for week 3.1. So let's move on now to English 9 week 3.2. Okay, so for this topic, features of prose and poetry. Okay, so the learning competency, distinguish features of prose and poetry and summarizing important information from text. Your objectives are to differentiate prose from poetry, summarize important information from the given text. So before answering everything, you have to first understand here. Understand what is the meaning or the features of prose and poetry. So let me read this to you. Features of prose and poetry. Prose and poetry are integral in the study of the English language and culture. These two forms of literary text are essential in teaching and learning English as a core subject, and familiarity with their unique features helps develop a deeper appreciation for those useful tools. But how is prose different from similar to poetry? What are their distinct features? Let us find out. Poetry and prose are both important forms of literature. Nonetheless, they have unique features that distinguish one from the other. So, let's have number 1, the form and structure. Prose consists of sentences arranged in paragraphs, while poetry composes of lines that are grouped in stanzas. For the language, prose is straightforward, while poetry is creative. 3. Use of literary devices. So literary devices such as alliteration, metaphors, and assonance are employed more in poetry than in prose. 4. Writing confinements. When writing prose, writers have a more sense of freedom and fewer confinements or restrictions. Examples, the number of words, structure, rhymes, or schemes. And 5. Purpose. Prose provides information and conveys a message, while poetry delights or amuses. Okay, so summarizing prose and poetry. Literary texts like prose and poetry offer various information. When reading these texts, an effective reader knows how to focus on the most valuable content and remove unnecessary details. One of the various reading strategies that he or she utilizes is summarizing. A text is reduced to only the essence, and the most important ideas are gathered to form a summary. A summary is a shortened version of a text containing the main points written in one's own words. So, remember, reading prose and poetry enriches our minds while recognizing their unique features to more profound appreciation for this literary text. To facilitate the effective reading of prose and poetry, summarizing is a useful tool that involves comprehending the text, looking for the key elements, and removing unimportant details. So for SAQ 1, once again, don't forget to write your name, your grade level, and section. And of course, please write English 9 week 3.2. So for SAQ 1, identify whether the statements are true or false. So if the statement is true, you place a check, and if false, you write X. Okay, so once again, for this type of test, you check if the statement is true and you make an X mark if it is false. So for example, number 1, this is 1 up to 10. All shortened version of text is called a summary. So if your answer is true, you write check. And if your answer is false, you put a wrong or an X mark. Okay, so let's practice. Study the text below. Text A is a poem, while text B is a prose. Match the sample text with their unique features in the box by writing only the letter of the corresponding by writing only the letter in the corresponding space. Okay, so you have to write this one, The Battle with Grendel, from Beowulf, translated by Burton Raffel, and The Day of Destiny from Morte de Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory. So what you're going to do is write only the letter in the corresponding space. So for example, number 1, text blank has a creative structure and form. So you have to write only letter A or letter B. So that's here. So what you are going to do, this is the what is this again? The Battle with Grendel, and this one is the Day of Destiny. So this is A and this is B. So for this 1 up to 10 items here, if your answer for number 1 is A, letter B, you write letter B. If your answer is A, you write letter A. Okay? So again, no need to copy everything. Just write only the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so for number 1, text blank has a creative structure and form. So what do you think, A or B? So write your answer. So let's try. Let's see how much you have learned. Answer on your yellow pad again. Look for the elements of the summarized story, A Good Deed. Complete the table by writing the sentence number inside the boxes. So in this part here, what you are going to do is to complete the table by writing the sentence number inside the boxes. So what you are going to do here is to, of course, draw this one first. Draw this one and then you look for the answer. For example, number 1. I learned about the joy of helping others when I was in kindergarten. So what do you think? This is number 1. Where do you think this one belongs? Character, settings, problem, event beginning, event middle, event end, solution. So write only the number here inside the boxes. You have to copy this one in your yellow pad, and then you answer that one by writing the corresponding number. There are numbers in the text here. Okay, so there are numbers in the text. For example, number 1. So look for it here. Put your answers on the box. Okay, or inside the box. Okay, so that's all for the week. For week English 9 week 3.2 and 3.1. So once again, this is Teacher Menchi, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more videos. Thank you so much, my dear students. God bless you. Bye-bye.